Well, that was made with a little help from your friends, of course, including the one, the only, Ringo Starr.
I've met you before. Good evening. Good evening. I thought you were dead. How you doing, Michael?
A sharp suit, Ringo.
I hate gardening.
That's question number 19.
I love him, but I hate gardening.
Right. You've been doing your own thing as well, of course, but you enjoy a bit of the old nostalgia, don't you?
Oh, I love nostalgia. I think I was nostalgic at birth.
That's why you got born again.
Is this my spot or yours?
Oh, sorry.
Didn't I spot the Sergeant
Didn't we
Pepper...
meet on a summer cruise?
Yeah.
I did spot the Sergeant Pepper costume in that video, didn't I?
That's right, yeah. A quick one. I had a quick one.
Yeah. The actual original.
The original suit, it's a bit tight around the hips now at this moment.
Have you kept memorabilia?
I keep everything. No, I do. I'm a hoarder. And, you know, I've saved all my clothes through the years, and I thought, you know, it always goes round, the kids would love this. But the only time they ask me for any clothes is if there's a fancy dress party. You know, they have all the hippie stuff on. Hey, we're going to a fancy dress party, let's ask Dad.
Would you do me a tremendous favour?
I'm not going to kiss you like Elizabeth. I'm not going to rub your knees like the other guy.
Would you take the shades off for a second?
Yeah.
Oh, these lovely orbs.
Oh, he's got the bluest eyes in the world.
But they're closed.
Oh, yeah. Well, you have to keep them closed. The air gets at them.
Now, what you haven't kept, of course, the fans have. Were they always desperate for souvenirs?
Well, I think we were real lucky. I think the only thing I ever lost in all those days of madnesses was half of my scalp, a shirt, and a gold necklace, which they gave me back in New York. We really weren't beat up too much. Wales was the worst place I ever went.
What were they after?
They were after my head. And, you know, we had all these policemen, you know, we'd walk down this, like, corridor of policemen, and some hand just came through and just grabbed my head. And this child would have died.
I don't remember Wales.
It's before you joined the group.
Oh, yeah. That was Rory Storm and the Hurricanes.
No, it was you, Georgie. But you were so much younger then.
What did they nick of yours then, George?
What they nick of mine? Somebody once broke in my house and nicked a pair of silk pyjamas.
That was me.
You've all four, of course, had your own special followers. How different was a Ringo fan from a George fan, say?
I had the mothers. I had the mothers and the children, always have. George has the mystics. John had the, you know, the intellectual college attitude.
And
Paul had the teenies.
That shared out the human race quite well, really.
Well, that, I feel, was part of our strength, where we were a band that were appealing to children, to grandparents, you know, like the Stones, where they were mainly on a teenage attitude.
You were...
How you doing, Mick?
You were always the down-to-earth one.
That's right.
What did you...
God, you're looking chubby.
Thank you.
Oh, sorry, I've got to behave. George is on.
What did you make of... I was saying about you being down-to-earth. What did you make of the Indian episode?
Well, the Indian episode was real interesting. I got 2 phone calls, one from George and one from John. We're going to Wales. See, he's always been to Wales. He doesn't remember. To meet the Maharishi, so I just got on the train because these guys wouldn't lie to me. So we met him in Wales, and then we all decided to go to this ashram in India. I think that I still thank Maharishi, you know, for what he said, but in the end I felt he was telling me stories, but that's my problem.
In the end, I mean, how long did you actually stick that course?
10 days.
He ran out of beans.
Yeah.
He came,
he
came all the way up the Himalayas with a big
suitcase of beans and a suitcase of clothes.
And I didn't like flies and spiders.
No, can't stand them. But the interesting part was, you see, I can only eat bland food because I was very sick as a child. And so I'd have my beans, and then I was getting fed up with that. And so I said, "You got any eggs?" Like eggs in the morning, you know. And so I caught these guys burying the shells in the ground as if God wouldn't notice. So I decided to leave after that. Oh no, he doesn't see those.
You lived in each other's pockets, didn't you? I mean, it was like being a family.
Oh, he's always lived in mine.
But you had family rows. I mean, what were the
Yeah,
main...
we do. We have terrible rows.
What was the main cause of your squabbles in the early days?
Oh, I don't remember
I'll leave that
ever
one up to
having
you,
any.
George.
I don't remember any squabbles.
You don't remember anything, do you?
No. Instant amnesia.
What about now? What makes you cross with each other now?
Well, the last time we were cross was when George was suing me. See, what's nice though, he calls me
Paul
up.
was cross.
Yeah, he's still cross. The last time he calls me and say, "I'm going to sue you." I said, "No, George, don't be saying that." "No, I'm going to sue you. I don't like what you've done." Because he wrote this song and I had it mixed by somebody else. And he didn't like the mix, so he was going to sue me. So in the end, I said, "Sue me if you want, but I'll always love you."
Speaking of which, you two shared a flat, didn't you?
Yes, we did. Yes, we shared a flat.
It's on the M1, wasn't it?
Wadden House.
Yeah, I had to get the jack out and
Yeah, it was
change the
fabulous
tire.
sharing. Well, we shared a couple of places, actually. You know, when we first came down to London, you know, you're so insecure that we had to live together. You know, we weren't big boys and I'll have my own place. So I never left home. Who's going to make the tea and iron your shirts?
George, what was he like to live with?
Fabulous. Yeah, I mean, we only ever
How you
slept
doing
there
back
anyway.
there?
We used to always be in the nightclubs, really, in those days.
Georgie, you know all his lines about I was never a discothequer?
Well, I wasn't.
You had to drag him out of them, you know.
Well, that was back in
Oh, no.
64.
Before the
65, yeah. No, I stopped going to them around 1967, I think.
Yeah, I stopped in 1980.
But
Got
then you,
married, have
Yeah.
a wonderful wife, you know.
but then you rarely go to bed anyway, to sleep.
I never go to bed.
Yeah.
I'm an insomniac, mainly. When I'm not an insomniac, I sleep.
Well, that would cure it, I suppose. Let me set the record straight, though, about...
This is George.
He's a drummer. He's a drummer.
I can't help it. It happens all the time. Am I making a noise on the mic? I tap
Is he
all the
making a noise on
time
it?
to my heartbeat.
That's... Oh. Well, it's getting slower, I better tell you.
I can't wait for the coffin. Boom. Boom.
I hesitate,
Ready, Lord?
I hesitate to ask you a serious question, but I mean, as we're talking
why
about...
don't you, Michael?
I will. Set the record straight about today's situation. The press are keen to imply rifts. How do you and
rift?
Paul get on?
We get on very well.
George?
Yeah, no, we do, actually. We, I mean...
we love you.
Yeah.
Which camera is it, for Christ's sake? It's bobbing around. Edit.
For,
We love you.
yeah, for about 10 years, I didn't really...
10 minutes.
I didn't really know Paul, and never really saw much of him through the last 10 or 12 years. But more recently, we've been hanging out and getting to know each other, going for dinner and meeting and having a laugh. And it's absolutely not true what they said in the News of the World last Sunday. Which somebody, actually, I was in San Remo the day before Paul arrived, and I got a phone call from somebody, the Daily Mail phoned up, and they said, George, you know, I said, no, sorry, George has just left. And I pretended I was somebody else, and they said, well, there's some people down here who are trying to get this rumour started about you and Paul. So I told him, you know, that we weren't... the reason why we weren't there together was because we didn't even know each other was going to be there anyway, and we were all there on different days. But it's definitely just one of those things that these people sit around and think, let's have a fight between, you know, George and Paul now, you know. But actually, I love Paul, he's my mate, and it doesn't matter what they say in the papers, it's not going to, you know, they're not going to get much mileage out of that one.
What about Yoko Ono?
Yoko, I'm pleased to say, where are they?
Pleased to say.
Pleased to say that I had a great time with Yoko in New York on the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And it was nice to meet her.
Just keep
And
it off, you know.
fine, yeah, everything's fine.
When I and the rest of us hear Lennon records, but still, of course, impossible for us to believe that he's gone. It must be, of course, 1,000,000 times more for you, mustn't it?
Well, you've certainly brought the party down, Michael. It is, you know. I was stunned on the day, and I still...
Shocked and stunned.
I mean, I
Shocked
cry
and
easy, and I mean, just the other day, just because we're all sitting here, George and I watched this movie that Yoko was making about John, and I just get emotional. Oh, don't tell me, don't. No, I do, I get emotional, so...
Like George and
I do,
Ellie.
I still miss the man. I loved the man, I was close to the man. And he went out just in such a stupid way, you know.
How did you hear
And the
news?
guy's famous now, for God's sake.
Yes, that's the...
What do you think of that?
That's the cruel irony, of course, you're quite right.
Stupid.
How did you hear the news yourself?
Well, I heard it. We were in the Bahamas at the time, and my stepdaughter, Francesca, called up, Barbara's daughter, and she said, something on the news about John. I said, well, what is it? Like the shooting and things like that? Well, you know, we don't know what it is, you know, I never ever went to, like, good night. And then they called back, and they said, yeah, he's actually been blown away. So we sat around just devastated, actually. I mean, I was just down. And so 5 o'clock in the morning, I ordered a plane and flew to New York just to see if there was anything, you know, you can do, but you can't. But you just, you know, when you get to that position or situation, you know, you just do something, and that's what Barbara and I did. Because you couldn't have a holiday after that, you know. Yeah.
So, and George, how did you hear it?
Yeah, I was in bed at the time in England, and I don't know, the call came through sometime in the morning, 4 or 5 in the morning. I didn't take the call. Olivia took the call, and she said, John's been shot. And I thought, oh, how bad is it? You know, I just thought maybe a flesh wound or something like that. But they said, no, that's it, he's dead. So I didn't know. I just went back to sleep, actually. I just, maybe it's just a way of getting away from it. I just went to sleep. And then waited to see, you know, what it said the next morning, and he was still dead the next morning, unfortunately. But you know, I feel not so bad about it, in as much as you know, I had this, you know, unlike Ringo, when I went to Rishikesh in India, I went into meditation and I had some good experiences, and I got to...
I had some good experiences.
I know you did, and you forgot to tell him that.
Well, yeah, but he only asked about the eggs.
So I believe what it says in the scriptures and in the Bhagavad Gita. It says there was never a time when you didn't exist, and there'll never be a time when you cease to exist. The only thing that changes is our bodily condition. Soul comes in the body, and we go from birth to death, and it's death. How I look at it is like taking your suit off. You know, the soul is in these 3 bodies, and one body falls off. And I feel like that. I can feel him around here.
Oh,
and,
I've seen him twice.
He's
Did
still...
he feel that?
No, I have.
You've seen
Oh,
him?
yeah, I felt one time very strong that I was in a hotel room in L.A., and I was real down and miserable, whatever was going on. He was in the corner saying, what are you doing? I'm being miserable. I said, well, come on, get it together. No, I believe, like George, on that respect, though, we just did the joking bit about the eggs, that we do continue. And I do believe in God.
Did he? What mental state was John in at that time? Do you know?
Well, I'd never seen him for a couple of years before that, but I had enough experience. Well, we all did. During the 60s, we had, you know, there was people putting stuff in our coffee, which gave us some crazy experiences, and when they stopped doing it, we started putting it in our own coffee for a bit.
2 girls wondering what you put in your coffee over there.
And, you know, but, you know, we had a lot of experiences. I know John was, you know, he knew who he was, that he was a soul that happened to be in this body for this period of time. And, you know, I don't think... it's just the method by which you die, you know. I mean, I think it's nicer if you can consciously leave your body at death, as opposed to just some lunatic shooting you on the street or having a plane crash, something like that. I think it's unfortunate the way he went out, but it doesn't really matter. He's okay, and life flows on within you and without you.
How are you doing, Johnny?
Would
Over to you, Michael.
Well, I was going to ask, would anything have persuaded you to, all that is, to reform the Beatles even for one night? And what kind of offers did you get anyway?
Well, I think the only time we phoned each other up, because everyone kept trying to get us together, but somebody phoned up and they offered us just for one gig, and we only used to do 25 minutes. They offered us 50 million.
Dollars, was it?
Lira.
Could have been in anything. 25 quid each. And I do remember, but George never called anybody. I remember calling everyone else, and them calling me saying, "Oh, well, what do you think? 25 minutes buying you a new suit."
So what stopped you then?
We will never get it together. I mean, we broke up, for all the reasons we know about. I mean, to get together. I don't really believe in this getting together thing, really. Now, if we got together, it would be George, Paul, and Ringo. If we got together, it would not be the Beatles. We'll never do it with Julian because it'll be George, Paul, what's my name? And Julian. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you would never go out there again with that. Well, I won't. I don't know about Georgie. Would you go out, Georgie, with that name?
No, it wouldn't be the Beatles. But the thing is, it's not to say that, Ringo and I hang out occasionally and play some tunes together.
I'm on the album.
He's on the album, he was on the concert, and Paul does concerts, and as I say, we're getting to be friendlier with Paul. It's good chance someday maybe we'll write a tune and play together, but it won't be the Beatles, and if people expect us to be the Beatles, they're going to be disappointed, but you may see three old guys called John, Paul and Ringo who someday may sing a song together.
I bet I don't get to sing.
But you have other things to offer. I mean, looking
Oh, yes, Michael, you're telling them now.
What about acting? Now,
Acting.
You've done...
Couldn't get a job if I died.
You've always been a film fan, haven't you?
I love films. I love cameras, as you may have noticed.
You've got a lot of new fans, though, with Thomas the Tank Engine.
Oh, I have. It's
film.
great. It's great. It is fabulous with Thomas. I never knew it would be so big. In fact, the first time Britt Allcroft, who was the producer of all this, came up saying, I'd like you to read these stories about this train, which I never had because I was a Beano man. And I said, you've got to be crazy. It's Star Wars and Madison. We were talking years ago anyway. And so she came back and convinced me. So I said, look, I'll just read 5 of the stories on my own, on tape, and you listen to them and see if you still want me. And she did. And then we did Thomas the Train. There's all these little babies screaming again. Ringo, Ringo! I used to have the mothers, now I've got the kids.
You are, of course, the poorest Beatle.
I am the poorest Beatle, Michael. That's why I'm on the show.
That won't do much for your last... Well, you're down to your last 20 million now, I think, aren't you?
No, I didn't even make the list, and Georgie's got 14, so I'm down to, 12.
Are you a great spender, though? I mean, you enjoy
that's why. I love to spend. That's the only reason to have it.
What's the biggest waste of money you can claim to have done?
The biggest waste?
Well, the biggest...
I mean, if you call this like some reality, that's all waste. What?
Apple.
Well, that was all of us. You can't blame me for that personally.
If it had all never happened, what would you be doing now?
I'd be a drummer. Well, what's funny about that? I mean, I decided when I was 18, this is my life. So, just because we made it, I don't think, you're asking a weird question because we don't know what would have happened if it hadn't happened.
All conjecture.
But I just feel that I still would have been playing behind the strippers.
George?
Or in front these days.
I think I probably would have been probably a better guitar player than I am now because,
Impossible.
the famous bit sort of we ended up just playing the same old stuff for years. But I started playing the guitar when I was about 13, and that's the only thing I really wanted to do. I didn't want to be a Thomas the Tank Engine or...
Thanks so much.
or a train, a fireman or anything like that.
Would you have been happier men?
Oh.
If it had not occurred?
I always feel I was born happy.
So happiness...
I don't, happy. Yeah, I'm basically happy. Yeah, I am happy.
And George, you certainly are.
I'm quite happy, yeah, I'm happy. But you can't say, this is our lives, this is the only life I can remember, and I'm happy enough doing it. It's been up and down and good and bad, and in the end, I think all of us have come out of it reasonably sane and quite happy.
Well, the rest of us are happy, and for all of us, it's been fab. Thank you very much indeed. Ringo Starr and George Harrison.
Harrison.
Thank you.